Welcome to our webinar on Bentley Nevada product training. Hi, my name is John Kingham, and I am the host for today's webinar. Jason Hayward will be presenting. Jason is our services team lead for Western Canada and has been with Bentley Nevada for more than 2 decades. Jason's role as a systems and instrumentation specialist has had him working on our full range of products from our 1970s vintage 9000 system all the way to today's 3500 and data manager through System 1. Along with his team lead role and S&I responsibilities, Jason is also one of our System 1 and 3500 trainers. We are recording today's session, and in order to make these videos available to you and your colleagues at a later date, we do ask that you make sure that you are on mute and refrain from broadcasting your video. We are using the Slido app for questions. And I always recommend voting for your own question. It'll give it extra priority. So you can see the Slido code down in the bottom left of Jason's pitch. And you can download that to your phone or just go to the URL. So as we are recording, we will wait until the end after we stop the recording to pose and answer the questions in the queue. With that, thank you for attending, and I'd like to turn this over to Jason.
All right. Hello. Good day, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day so far, and we'll hopefully continue with that. So as John mentioned, yeah, my name's Jason Hayward, and 2 decades sounds like a long time. It doesn't feel that long. Anyway, so we're going to be talking today about our Bentley Nevada product training offerings. So looking at hardware and looking at our software training options. So first of all, who are we? Our Bentley Nevada training department is made up of a number of different people, from our training developers to our training team managers, and of course our training instructors. We have a number of dedicated instructors who help with the development, and delivery is their sole role. And in a number of regions, we also utilize field service engineers who have been trained and certified to deliver some of our training offerings. For example, here in Canada, I look after the training that we are certified in. For example, 3500 and System 1, we would deliver that locally with some of our field engineers, where other courses that we don't have the expertise, we would of course bring in some of the regional training personnel to assist with that. So Bentley Nevada, we are your global training partners, and we want to be partners in your training. We offer comprehensive, self-paced, hands-on instructor-led courses. Our courses are designed to help you protect and manage all of your machinery. Along with our training offerings, of course, our core competence is not just our hardware and software, but it's the knowledge that we have behind that. The courses themselves, they can be held at our Bentley training locations, whether it be here where I'm located in Edmonton, or Minden, Nevada, Houston facility, and we have a number of other facilities globally. And now we also offer a number of different online trainings. Our training techniques are proven. We've been utilizing specific techniques and improving on them throughout our history to constantly improve upon our training techniques, our delivery, and with that is of course helping to expand upon and give a better result for you, our customers. When choosing our course offerings, we have a number of standard courses with a specific outline and a specific outcome, and those are available for you to choose to select. And if you have specific cases of things that you'd like to look at, for example, our 3500 training encompasses radial vibration, thrust position primarily. And if you have aeroderivative monitors or some other applications within your 3500, we have the ability to customize our training to focus on the modules that you have. So standard courses, and of course, we also have the option to customize if you go outside and have equipment that's maybe not part of a standard offering. So benefits of our training. Our training centers provide a full range of training in Bentley Nevada solutions, and our course encompasses all aspects from fundamentals to in-depth solution and diagnostic knowledge. One of the big benefits of being in the training centers is our hands-on workshops and working with real equipment. So when you're doing training in our workshops, you get to touch the vibration systems, you get to touch the transducers, which, you know, as most of you are aware, hands-on provide you some real value and comfort level. You know, for 3500 training, you know, if you're the first time you get to pull a monitor from a rack that's connected to a protection system, might be in a training facility, and you'll have that comfort level of knowing what you can do with running equipment in the field. And with that benefit of our training, we also bring more than 40 years of technical training experience. And in many of those cases, that technical training experience is derived from our field experience, from our experience of installing, maintaining our product line. So the experience is a big piece of the training. We're developing and working with you, our customers, to develop learning paths for your staff, for your personnel. And if we look at what we want to do with our training paths, we want to provide the right skills and the right knowledge to increase the performance and productivity of your team. We have a core curriculum, including 15 training modules with emphasis on practice, on getting your hands on touching. And then we have additional offerings. Webinars like this one are available. Some videos. We have a YouTube site, a Baker Hughes YouTube site, which has some videos on there. But looking at the learning paths, these are not a fixed learning path. This is something that you could customize based on your site and your requirements. But as an example learning path, we have our 3 different roles on site, whether the role is instrumentation, whether the role is operations, if your role is reliability and diagnostics. And then we have these learning paths where, you know, if your work is primarily instrumentation, fundamentals of vibration, 3500 operation and maintenance. It could be our transducer training course. If you're an operator, maybe there's a little more that you would like to know. Again, understanding vibration, the 3500, but also operations, maybe using System 1. So we can add that into that learning path. Reliability diagnostics, again, some of the same things, fundamentals of vibration, 3500, System 1, and then you can take that further and go into System 1 for portables, System 1 turbo machinery, also into our machinery diagnostics course or an advanced machinery diagnostics course. So these are some of the learning paths. Again, these are all separate courses, but you can design and work with our team to build a learning path for your plant, for your site. With this training, of course, we work on our skills development. Students get to work hands-on with real equipment. We also provide remote training utilizing virtual environments and providing the same hands-on experience as being in the classroom. For example, our System 1 course, you connect to a virtual environment and you're working with a System 1 software package, the same as if you were sitting in a classroom in front of a computer that way. As I mentioned earlier, our courses can be customized to suit your needs. If there's something in our standard course that doesn't fit your exact requirements, we can pull that out, and we can take the pieces that you require and put those into our training and customize it for you. And Bentley Nevada can help you build a sustainable competencies using our core and customized training programs. And that would go back to the previous slide with the learning paths. So we can help you to build those learning paths and develop the competencies that your team needs. Course offerings. We have, as mentioned earlier, 15 core course offerings. Just a few of them mentioned here. 3500 operation and maintenance. We have our System 1 training, machinery diagnostics, Orbit 60, Ranger Pro, and many more. And just back to the same focus I had before, standard course offerings or work with Bentley Nevada to provide customized training, whether that training be in-house, remote, at a Bentley site. All of those are available to you. So I'm going to go into a little bit of some of the specifics about I'll call them our core courses, because they are right now our core hardware software offerings. First of all, we have our 3500 operation and maintenance course. 3500 operation and maintenance course is a hands-on course for personnel involved with operating, maintaining your 3500 monitoring system. The course includes an overview of hardware components, an overview of how to use the rack configuration software, maintain and troubleshoot the system. We have workshops in there which include practice with live monitors and racks. The objectives of the course: explain the role of the 3500 monitoring system in machinery monitoring and protection. A big one, I think an important one as well in that training, is identifying installation conditions that affect the correct operation of proximity transducer systems. Proximity probes are, that's the majority of our piece of the market, so to speak. Proximity probes are really where Bentley Nevada started many years ago. And when I look at and troubleshoot a 3500 system and or a software system like System 1, I like to call the proximity transducer systems, that's the pointy end of the stick. If your transducer systems aren't installed correctly, your monitoring system, your 3500, is not providing you the value that you expect out of that. And then your System 1, your asset management software, has either poor or bad data from a faulty transducer, and now the data that you're using to analyze, to vibration issues, a machinery condition, is not necessarily good data based on your transducer system. So I like to, when I instruct this course, I like to focus quite a bit and spend a few hours on proximity transducers, because if they're not installed right, nothing else down the line is really working for you. So for me, that's a big piece. Along with that, we look at how to use this Bentley Nevada configuration software. So how to configure 3500 racks, how to verify your readings, how to test monitor alarms, how to verify channels, troubleshooting the monitoring system, troubleshooting software and hardware and transducers. And as well, we also have available online, I'll just bring you a little link here. We've added a little bit of additional training pieces to our 3500. Check back in a minute. Just apparently our website has decided to not be working right now. We'll try that one more time. See if it opens this time. That's better. So I'll just drag this one over here. From our Bentley Training website. This is relatively new, what we have here. If you want to just kind of a brief introduction covering key troubleshooting techniques, we have a video, or 6 short videos narrated in English, which cover connecting to the 3500 rack, looking at event lists to identify problems, utilizing the LEDs and buffered outputs, identifying faults, and a short quiz at the end of the course. So we have this available also through our training website if you just wanted to spend a couple hours, more of an introduction to troubleshooting a 3500. We do have this as well as a new offering. All right, our next course that I'm going to cover in a little more detail is our System 1 course. The System 1 course is instructor-led, which teaches students how to use System 1 in a variety of practical daily use situations. We have workshops demonstrating how the platform can be used efficiently to minimize time spent looking at non-significant data and focusing on the information that is needed to make good management decisions. With the System 1 training, and this is a question I had earlier, the System 1 training, the focus of the System 1 training is really a focus on how to use the application itself, as opposed to a diagnostics course. And depending on your instructor's skill set, you might have an instructor that's also very familiar with their diagnostics and might be able to help out and answer questions within there. Or you may have an instructor who his focus really is on the System 1, the System 1 operation, System 1 installation. And if that's the case, any questions that you pose to that instructor that they don't know the answer to, we certainly have the skill set and the knowledge and a training department that will have the answers if we don't have them readily available. So just wanted to point out, like I said, System 1 course is how to use the software, not a diagnostics course. So System 1 course objectives: connect to an enterprise and view data. Check for alarms of a certain severity using the event manager. Create alarm plots of those events. Using the status screens to find bad actors. Using alarm plots to look for trend and data correlations at a train, machine, and bearing levels, as well as points that are in alarm. You're going to learn about how to use the quick plot feature, which allows you to just quickly open on a plot and look at a sample of current values at historical for any point in your database. Along with our quick plotting, from those plots we can create baselines, and we can create overlays, so you can then compare a baseline sample to a current sample, or a time in history or an event in history to current data. We also will learn how to generate waterfall plots on points and dynamic data events. We also have the ability to look at the reporting features, how we can export and report features within System 1. The System 1 course as well. This course is available online, not just through a classroom setting. In the online training for our System 1, we utilize a few things. First of all, we utilize a software package called Adobe Connect. Adobe Connect is going to be a web app where the students will log in to a scheduled session where you'll have presentations, breakout groups, interactions with the instructor, discussions on the day's plans, what's expected, any direct trainings that require the instructor's immediate interaction. That's all done through a program called Adobe Connect, which would be very similar to Microsoft Teams. So it would be that kind of a meeting where you sit down and go through things. And then with this course, after that, you'll go on to another application called Canvas, which would be similar to Google Classroom, which I am becoming familiar with my kids doing their schooling from home. But in that particular application, you'll have a list of your assignments. There will be discussion screens where you can leave notes, and discussions, pose questions that might be answered by other students in the class or answered by the instructors. Assignments are turned in there, and links to any impertinent information. If there's links to a help page or to a website, that's all going to be available through that Canvas app. And then the final piece that we have with our System 1 online is an application called SkyTap. And what SkyTap is a cloud-based virtual machine hosting environment. So for your real hands-on piece with System 1, you'll follow the assignments in Canvas, but you'll log into SkyTap with a code that's provided to you, a login information that's provided. And in that SkyTap environment, you will have a fully functional System 1, which you can monitor from, plot from, work on configuration, create baselines, use quick plots. And that would be the same as if you were sitting in a classroom with an instructor in front of you and working on a laptop or a computer in a classroom. The only difference really is it's a virtual environment. So with that System 1, working on it that way, we have broken it out into a bit of a learning path here. So what we would consider an initial System 1 course would be your System 1 fundamentals. System 1 fundamentals can be broken into 3 to 5 days, really depending on how many hours a day you want to put into it. The System 1 fundamentals course, the in-classroom course, is a 3-day course. For the online course, for the remote learning version, it can be 3 to 5 days depending on how many hours of interaction with the instructor you'd like to have. So we can split that out. A lot of the assignments will be done offline at your own pace without direct interaction with the instructor. So instructor would come on, demonstrate, answer questions, provide the assignments, and then you can work on those assignments at your own pace. And the next day, log back into Adobe Connect, back on with the instructor, review the previous night's work, answer any questions that came out of it, and go on from there. Now with this learning path, the way we're rolling out our learning path for System 1, as mentioned, we have our System 1 fundamentals, your initial introduction to System 1. And then we have System 1 core. What the core is going to be based on what you have on your site. Some sites might have their core System 1 maybe revolving around portables. So your rotating engineers, your machinery engineers are using Scouts or VB series of boxes and going out and taking data. So we would have a core course that would be added to your fundamentals, a 2-day component that would be specific to that device, creating routes, syncing data between your device and System 1, how to set up your different styles of plotting, setting up gearbox configuration, bearing configurations, remote communications between your device and your System 1. And then our other core offering would be the online core, which would deal with core modules dealing specifically with our online devices like 3500 monitors, 3701, Trendmaster, Ranger Pro, etc. So that would be the core piece. And then we'll have offerings of additional skills. So additional course offerings that would expand on your fundamentals and your core. So an advanced portables, advanced online configuration, optional online pieces also. And ideally at the end of this, you end up with Bentley certifications as a portable user, as a System 1 portable super user, System 1 online monitor user, online super user. So online monitor user might be an operator, might be an instrument technician, whereas your online super user is probably more geared towards your reliability engineers. But again, this really is going to be site dependent and how it fits for your specific opportunity. The next course I was going to look at here is our machinery diagnostics course. So machinery diagnostics course, hands-on approach, gives you the experience you need to be confident when taking action. This is a must-have course for those who interpret or plan on interpreting machine vibration and position data to determine machine condition. This course is also available as a remote learning option. The machinery diagnostics course, whether it be remote or whether it be in-house, will use running machine data. Typically, it's going to be from a rotor kit connected to a 3500 rack, connected to either System 1 or Audrey for data collection. The course itself, if you're doing the machinery diagnostics, we have an option of machinery diagnostics using Audrey or machinery diagnostics using System 1. I would recommend if you're not familiar with Audrey or not familiar with System 1, If you're enrolling and taking a machinery diagnostics using System 1 course, then I would recommend taking the System 1 fundamentals prior to taking this course. That way you're really confident in using the software application that provides you the data, whereas the machinery diagnostics course is all about how to interpret and how to analyze the data. As I mentioned, it's available as a remote learning option as well. In the remote environment, the instructor will have a server collecting data from a rotor kit, from a 3500 rack, and you'll be able to log in to that system and analyze the live data that's there. So again, the only real difference is you won't be in front of the rotor kit yourself, but all of the data will be there as if you're in a classroom. Objectives of the machinery diagnostics course: explain how the fundamentals of machine design and behavior are reflected, reduce machinery vibration data into usable plot formats, explain which formats are best to use in different stages of machine diagnostics, describing causes, effects, and indicators of the typical machine malfunctions, including unbalance, misalignment, rubs, shaft cracks, and fluid instabilities. Now, I mentioned that the course revolves around using live data, but there's also a number of case histories that can be brought up and provided in here as well. So, and those case histories look at Bentley's core competence and over 40 years of doing this training and 60 years of Bentley, Nevada, actually looking at and analyzing data and developing these case histories. So the knowledge is there. You don't have to relearn. You just have to learn how to use it. And then we have our last little piece here is our Bentley Training portal. So if you're interested in taking any Bentley Nevada courses, the website you're going to want to go to is bentleytraining.com. Nice and simple. So we'll go in here and take a look at our website. Seems to be taking its time, but I can take you here and go back to it. So here's our Bentley Training website. I'll take you right to the home page. So our home page is just bentleytraining.com. So if we go in, log into bentleytraining.com. Apologies with everybody working from home, sometimes takes a little bit longer to access our sites. All right, so bentleytraining.com. When we log into the website, the first thing you're going to see is this screen that tells you we have remote learning. We click on learn more. It'll bring up some of our course options, what's available remotely. So I talked about machinery diagnostics, remote options for it. So you can see some remote offerings that are available. We can look at what the course is, who the audience for a machine diagnostics course is, what the course objectives are, and then your ability to enroll. Enrolling in our training courses, if you have, your first step would be to register, where you create a user profile. And once you have a user profile, this does two things. It makes, of course, filling out and enrolling for any courses a more simple one-step procedure. But based on some of the courses that you've signed up for, enrolled for, you can also use this profile to develop and look at different learning paths. Once you have that, then you would just enroll and select a session that you would like to enroll in. Other pieces of our website, just courses in general. So we'll select on the courses. Window that comes up which shows all of our available standards. So again, customizing courses would be separate. Earlier I showed you a little website or a little link to our troubleshooting videos. That's actually this piece here, troubleshooting 3500 monitoring system troubleshooting. That's the link to sign up for any of those little troubleshooting videos. If I go here to the 3500 operation and maintenance course, click on the course, and this gives you 3500 operation and maintenance course, duration, audience, objectives, what the program entails, overview, transducer systems, support components, and then we also have a list over here of a number of available sessions and where they're available. Select the session of interest. So I picked this one in November. It always opens up all the sessions, no matter which one you select. But I can go through here and find, for myself anyway, here would be 3500 operation and maintenance, Edmonton, 3rd to 5th of November 2020. I can select this course and enroll for this course. Final piece I'll show you with our training website. The other important piece, the contact page. Mentioned as we went through this, you have the ability to work directly with the Bentley instructors, the Bentley training team, to customize training courses, specific for your applications, for your site, for your environment. So on the contact page, I'll select North America because that's the region I'm in. In that page, we have our generic BN Training North America email address. So for any questions that you might have, we also have our contacts, our primary contacts. So we have Mark Werkheiser, who's the customer training manager. And then we have Shane and Courtney, our lead training specialists. So they're available to communicate to directly. And for example, if you have interest in having a course in Canada, Mark would probably reach out to myself and we would spend the time to put together something that works for you. So this is the training website. So again, you can search by courses, which we saw. You can search by schedule. So by a calendar view, what's available and when and where, and select courses that way. And then of course you have your contact. So that's our Bentley training website. Guess we'll open it up now to questions.
Were you going to go over the portal?
Sorry, that you broke up.
I was asking, are you going to the support portal?
Oh, yes. Sorry. One more piece on here. Let me just. One other piece here. We have not just the training.com website, but we also have bntechsupport.com, which is our technical support portal. Through our technical support portal, you can log in, you can register if you don't have access to the portal. If you don't have a support agreement, you can register for one, or log in if you have access to it. I'm going through mine, which it looks a little bit different, so I would click to visit the employee. But depending on what level of support agreement you have, you'll have access to different windows on here. But one of the things that we have in our tech support site is our Bentley, Nevada video library. And what we have in our video library here are links to a number of the webinars that we've done as well. So we have training ones. We have our Back to Basics series. So Introduction to Vibration, Proximity Probes. So these have all been webinars that we've been putting on lately. The training one, as John mentioned, it's being recorded right now, so it will be added to here after today or later on today once this is completed. So we do also have some webinars available on the Bentley, Nevada training website. And if you go online to YouTube, there's a Baker Hughes YouTube channel which has some Bentley videos along with videos of other Baker Hughes offerings. So a few other things besides just our Bentley training website itself, some other options.